Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araqchi said on Friday that nuclear talks with the U.S., in which each delegation spoke separately with leaders from Oman, began positively and were set to continue.
I think it was a good start, a good beginning, and now we have to go back to our capitals and discuss, the question with our superiors and explain what happened during these negotiations, and we will decide for the next round.
The comments from Iran's top diplomat could help ease concerns that a failure to reach a deal might nudge the Middle East closer to war. He added that the U.S. needs to refrain from threats and pressure and that the talks must stick to the nuclear issue. While both sides appear ready to revive diplomacy over Iran's long-running nuclear dispute with the West, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said earlier that he wanted to expand the talks to cover Iran's ballistic missiles, support for armed groups around the region, and the, quote, treatment of their own people. Alan Ayer, a distinguished diplomatic fellow with the Middle East Institute, says the U.S. has consistently pushed for more from Iran over time.
After the 12-day war last year between Iran and Israel in June of 2025, the U.S. Negotiating position got more maximalist. And that increased even more after the latest round of protests.
Washington has expressed major concerns about Iran carrying out enrichment, which is a possible pathway to nuclear bombs. However, a regional diplomat briefed by Tehran told Reuters that Iran rejected the push by the U.S. to halt enrichment, and the American side seemed to understand Iran's view. The Islamic Republic's clerical leadership remains deeply worried that Trump may still carry out his threats to strike Iran after a U.S. naval buildup in the region. But Ayer believes the Trump administration won't try to remove or kill Iran's supreme leader.
Whereas you could actually achieve something by removing one person in Venezuela, you can't do that in Iran, even if it's the supreme leader. We saw this when during last year's Israel-Iran war, Israel assassinated almost all of the top military leadership of Iran. Iran just replaced them. You know, Khamenei is 86 years old. He'll be leaving at some point soon anyway, and the system will replace him.
Iran has vowed a harsh response to any strike and has cautioned neighboring countries that host U.S. bases that they could be in the firing line if they were involved in an attack.